Greetings to my grade 8 learners. So today for social sciences, we are going through settlement patterns and factors influencing settlement. As you can see the picture that I've attached in our slide that has the different settlements. So we have two types of settlements, which is the rural and the urban settlement. So just to introduce my lesson, to get you going, I'm just going to ask a few questions. I'm just going to ask only two for the lesson to just go smooth. What are the differences when you are looking at these pictures in this slide? What are the differences you can see between the two places? Alright, yes, the other place has buildings that are built closely, and the other one has buildings that are not built closely, which are separated, I can say, which is a good answer. Can I get the second answer? Yeah, slightly correct. Or I'd rather say it's correct because the first picture has a road and cars, and the picture below does not even have roads. It's just grass. So why do you think people live in such conditions? I'm just going to take only one answer. Yes, Bonello. Alright, yes. So people live in the place, in the first diagram, just like Bonello said, mainly because they want to be in a better place with better job opportunities. And people live in the second picture mainly because they want to live in peace, where there's no noise pollution and everything like that, just like Bonello said. And you can just give him a round of applause for that answer. Alright, so now we're going to go through what are settlement patterns. So we have different patterns, but I've only just attached two because it's the beginning of our topic in this classroom, so I do not want to give you guys too much information. So we have what is called a nucleated settlement. So here we are speaking of settlements that we saw in picture 1, where settlements are actually built together, they are nucleated, they are grouped together. And we have the second settlement pattern, which is called a dispersed settlement. So this one is where is the one that we saw actually in our first slide in picture 2, where we saw the houses built apart from one another. So we call it a dispersed settlement because they are spread over a large area. And we have key two types of settlement, which is the rural settlement. The rural settlement is actually small, they are spaced out, there's agricultural and resource-based economy. What do I mean by that? I mean we have trees in the area, we have forest, we have grass, there's too much land. You find that the Kumalo family is built that side, the Mwabe family is that side, everything like that. And we have what we call an urban settlement, which is densely populated. They are actually nucleated in one area. They are all together, the houses are together. Like you see in township, those who stay in townships, those who stay in urban areas would attest that their houses, they have what they call neighbors who are closer to them. There's no need to even walk a kilometer when you are going. They have even services, they have infrastructure, and a diverse economy. What do I mean by diverse economy? They have restaurants, they have clothing shops, etc., etc., to run the economy, while in the rural settlement, they only focus on agriculture. I think everyone gets our lesson for today. So we have characteristics, things that we see to say the place is actually a rural settlement. So there is a low population density, where you find that people in that area do not even exceed 1,000. It's only a few members in the settlement. You know, in such a way that people who live in rural areas, they can get even, or they know everyone who stays in that area. So when you are not from that area, you actually become inferior or they can see that this one is not from our area because they are just a low population. It is agriculture based, like I've explained, close-knit communities, and their natural surroundings like fields, forest, where you find in rural areas that there's sugar cane, there's millies, that they plant, there are cabbages. So they actually run their economy, or should I say, their whole area is covered with forest. So when you go to rural areas, those are the things that you actually see. Do we have any questions, my learners? All right, there are no questions, which means I'm moving in a good pace. We also have an urban settlement where there's high population density, diverse economy, there's infrastructure, there are cultural activities. So there's a diverse economy, like I've explained in the previous slide, that the diverse economy, it means we have many job opportunities. We also have a high population. All right, so now we're just gonna come to my chart here for the types of settlements that I've explained about. So you can see that we have rural settlements, we have urban, we have nucleated settlements, just like you can see, this is more of like a township. We have dispersed like a rural area where they are all built apart. And we have the settlement patterns. There's a nucleated, there's a dispersed, and we have a linear where you find that houses are actually built in a line. So we call it a linear settlement pattern. Now we're gonna move to our factors influencing settlement patterns. We have physical factors. What are those physical factors? We are looking at the climate, which is influence on agriculture and lifestyle. We have water sources, importance of drinking, for drinking, farming and transportation, and we have topography, which are mountains. We move to factors that also, we continue with factors that influence our settlement patterns, which are human factors, economic opportunities. So when a person actually chooses an area where they want to live, they look at the economic opportunities, that if I stay in an urban area, will I be able to sustain my life? Social services like education, hospitals, and infrastructure. We also look at the cultural factors. All right, I just want you, my learners, to just look at this picture, and once you've seen this picture, you can ask questions, but I have this class activity for you guys, which I'll share with you after the lesson as you are going to answer, but please allow me to conclude my lesson. We have, in our lesson, what we have covered are the two main types, and we say the two main types is the rural and urban settlement. We also spoke about the characteristics. It is important to understand all the characteristics and understand the influencing factors that make a person choose to stay in a rural or urban area. And more that you need to understand is that you must be able to compare the insights. I did not compare for you guys because I want you guys to actually compare for yourselves the differences and the contrast between the rural and urban area. That is our lesson for today, guys. Please ensure that you stick to our activity. You use the picture above and answer the activity that I've given you guys. We're just gonna do it now in class. Thank you very much for your attention.